Hello everyone. So I'll welcome you all in the next session of work-life balance. Now we all have understood that balancing the life, balancing the work is very important in our life. Balanced life is something which give us mental relief, which give us mental peace. And if we do not balance our life properly, it causes lot of things which get damaged, our relations, our health, our mental health, our physical health. Everything is effective if we are unable to create proper balance in our life. Whenever we are talking about the life, whenever we are talking about work life balance, it does not just mean that you should have enough time for your work as well as for your personal life. It also means that you should have time for each and everything. A life doesn't mean that we just want to spend some time in the work and some time at the home. No, we also want to get social. We are the social animals, staying at one place, just doing the same old boring routine, going to office, coming back, sitting with the family and doing nothing will not give you anything. Being human being, we have a lot of desires. We also want to do something, we also want to achieve something in our life, and for that reason it is very important that we create a healthy work life balance in our life. And now when we are talking about the healthy work life balance, it means a balance where we are devoting equal time for each and every activity. We are planning out a day in such a way that we have time for ourselves, for our personal life, for a professional life, for being social, for doing exercise. Each and everything is being considered in our day-to-day routine, and that is what is known as creating a healthy work-life balance. Now, in this pandemic, in the virtual working, people are really struggling to create that balance in their life. They are at home all the time. So during their office hours, they get stuck with the household activity. During their personal time, they get stuck with the house with their official work. Why that is happening? Because they do not know how to balance the work. They do not know how to create proper balance and how to maintain balance in their lives. And that is the reason it has really been very important that people should know how to create balance in their life. So here in the last session, we started in last to last session, we started talking about the employee resources. Now, how you can make your employees happy, how you can give your employees more control over their life. Because see, when you are going to offer the control to the employees, you are somewhere motivating them and helping them to create the balance in their life. So for that, we have discussed about what are the different ways by which we can offer control to the employees, and that we have discussed that let employee choose what they want to do and what they want to get expert in. Instead of forcing your employees to go for any specific kind of training, to go for any specific kind of work, it is better give them the freedom to select that what they want to, in which field and what in which skill they want to be expert. So there are a few ways which we have discussed in the last session, and in today's session we'll be discussing about how to encourage employees to give suggestions. Now see, employees are a very important part of the organization. No one can deny the fact that without employees, the organization, the life of the organization, the success of the organization is not possible. It is the employees whose suggestions, whose creativity, whose hard work encourage and move the organization, makes the organization move towards the ultimate goal, success, and to achieve their own objective. So what are the ways by which you can encourage the employees to give suggestions? The first way of encouraging the employee is give employees complete freedom to offer the ideas. Let the employees be free in the organization. Now, being free doesn't mean that they are not going to follow the rules, procedures, and regulation of the organization. Being free simply means that you are giving the employees the complete freedom to share their ideas. Let's say they just got a wonderful idea of how to market your product. So give them that autonomy that, okay, you can share your idea. You can, if your idea is really very good, feel free to share your ideas, to share your suggestions, because it is very important. If you are allowing the employees to share their suggestion, it is giving them a sense of belongingness that yes, we are internal part of the organization, we are important part of the organization, and the organization value our idea. Let them know that yes, you are welcome, your ideas are welcome at any point of time, in any form. Let's say our business is running, we are not into the direct we do not have the direct dealing with the customer, but you just got an idea that to expand the business, why don't we open our own franchises, why don't we open our own outlets? Come up with the idea. Feel free to share the idea, whether it is going to be accepted or rejected, whether a policy will allow us to go for that, whether we have those available finance with us or not. But at least come up with the idea, share your idea. It's okay. What will happen? It is going to be rejected. That's it. But what if it gets selected? What? For that idea, for executing the idea, you just are appointed as the project head. So give the employees that freedom to offer the idea at any point of time, at any moment, and any idea. It can be in any form. It can be in the form of suggestion. It can be in the form of email. It can be a voicemail. It can be a memo. It can be during the staff meeting. It can be during a regular meeting. It can be during the hallway conversation, whatever it is, wherever you feel comfortable that, yes, I want to share my idea at this point of time, go for it. Share the idea. If you think, I do not want to publicly share my idea, I want a proper space, I want my personal time, I want a privacy, I just want to share it with a manager, go for it. Go and talk to your manager. Even it is completely fine, but speak up your idea. Feel free to share your idea, because this is going to encourage people to share their ideas in the first flush of enthusiasm, and ultimately the good ideas, the best ideas won't end up on the back burner, or do not just stay in their mind and just are buried in their mind only. Many great people, those great people, if they wouldn't have thought any creative idea, if they wouldn't have implemented those ideas, if they wouldn't have shared those ideas, do you think they would have been the great people in the country? No, they are great because they didn't hesitate to share their idea, and that is what the organization want from the employees. Do not hesitate to share your idea. If you think you have got an idea, go share it. Even if you're not sharing, you're not getting anything. And even if you share, who knows, your idea works for the organization. Who knows that people will be calling you as the face of the new upcoming project. who knows, you become the reason for the success of the organization. So do not let the ideas buried get buried in your mind. Just speak up wherever, in whichever form you are comfortable, wherever you want to speak. Just present that idea. Just think of the person who just wanted to start the door delivery of the food, food at your doorstep. If he wouldn't have shared that idea, if he wouldn't have worked on that idea, if wouldn't have shared that idea with his friend, do you think that thing would have ever happened? No. It was possible because he shared that idea. Nowadays, if we talk about the organization encourages the employees and give them the full freedom to offer their ideas at any point of time. Yes, there was a time when organization never used to used to uh, make the employees the part of the decision making process. They never used to encourage the employees to share the idea. But if we talk about today's world, if we talk about the current scenario, the leaders, the team, the organization want their employees to come up with their idea, to share their idea, and to deliver the best results for the organization. Nowadays their focus is the success. They do not want to hold their position. They're okay. They listen with the open mind. And that is what, if you're going to encourage the employees, they're going to be relaxed, they're going to feel motivated, they're going to feel inspired, and somewhere they'll slowly get some relaxation where they are freeing their mind. And it can be one of the way by which you are promoting the healthy work-life balance for the employees. The second way, give employees the authority to try new ways to do their job. I remember when I started my first job, as soon as entered entered the organization, I just got the list of tasks which is to be done. My roles and responsibilities very clearly defined. That I am supposed to plan the modules, I'm supposed to deliver the module, that's it. I do not have to put my nose in the reporting. I do not have to put my nose in the campus placement. I do not have to put my nose in preparing the students for their interview. I do not have to work on finding the companies who can come and recruit, who can come and take the interview in our campus. No, I was not allowed to do any of these things. Even, there was a booklet, a book which I got that, okay, this is the content and you have to specifically talk about these things only. You cannot bring anything of your own. I was like, it was getting really very boring. Same thing getting repeated again and again. I cannot change my way of working. I cannot change my way of teaching because I was supposed to stick to that old traditional way of using the blackboard, chalk, mouth, and presenting the things. No, I didn't. But nowadays, if we talk about today's organization, if we talk about the current scenario, employees get the autonomy to try their new ways to do their job. Let's say you have to find out the targeted customers. You can try out any way by which you can just get the targeted customer. You do not have to work with the old traditional way, okay, that earlier this was the approach which was adopted. No, it's your way. Now you have to lead the project. It's all your call. Just decide how you want to target the market, when you want to hit the market. We only want the result as an organization. So nowadays, yes, in some of the organization, the employees do get the autonomy to try new ways to do their job. the manager just comes and tell them what is the task to be done, when it is to be done, and briefing them about the broader outlines of the task which they have to achieve. How they are going to do that, in what way they are going to do that, it entirely depends on the team and the people who are the part of the team. So here you need to ensure that you encourage the employees to share the problems, ideas for the solution with maintenance and production design engineers also. Now you're just giving them autonomy. Okay, you want to share the ideas, go ahead with your ideas. Share your ideas to whomsoever you want to share. If you think you need the support of the production and the design engineer, go for that. If you want that, you want to bring something different in the market and you want to brand, you want to market that product in a very different and a unique way, go for it. Do the job the way you want to do. The only thing the organization say is we just want you to deliver the results, the positive results for the organization. Next thing, never brush off a suggestion when you are too busy to listen. What does this mean? You had a meeting with one of the very important client. You just reached there and the client was not very, he was not emotionally fit that day. Was busy, he was lost in his own thought, but as he has fixed a meeting with you, he's told you to start off with the meeting. You started with the meeting. Things went on smoothly. But what did you notice? That he was not interested, he was not listening, was not paying attention. Never brush off the suggestion. You know that you are not emotionally fit right now, you cannot go for the meeting. Either say or else. If you cannot postpone the meeting, say that I'm putting out the fire here, but I am interested. I want you to stop here, but I am interested. Do send me the email and I'll get back to you as up. Then see, by saying this, I have not done your task. After saying this, as soon as you are back to the normal senses, you are emotionally fit. Now what you need to do is you have to promptly go through the entire proposal and get back to that person again. Forgetting to get back to the people is the surest way to discourage the flow of idea. If you're not getting back to the people, if you are not providing them with the feedback, or if you are not discussing about the same thing again with that people, it is the way where you are showing that I am least interested, I'm least bothered in your idea. Do not do that mistake. Never let other person get that feeling that you don't value that person. Each and every person in the organization, each and every employee in the organization is contributing towards the growth and success of the organization in one or the other way. And it is your responsibility that you ensure that you are paying proper attention to what the other person is saying. If you are unable to respond at that point of time, ask them to share the detail, or just ask them to schedule another meeting at some later hours. That is also fine, but do not So it is very important that you never brush off a suggestion when you are too busy to listen to the people. If you think you cannot get back to the, you are too busy at that point of time, ask them to share the details via any other mode, like by email, or you can just call them back after at some later. You can reschedule the meeting, but make sure you are doing your best. You are not not ignoring their ideas and suggestions. Yes. So you need to make sure that if even if you are busy, tell them to email you. And once you are relaxed, never forget to get back to that person again. You have to get back to that person again. Next point, always acknowledge an idea. If you think someone has really given a brilliant, mind-blowing, extraordinary idea which has contributed towards the success of the project, towards the success of the organization, never forget to acknowledge those ideas. Always acknowledge those ideas. It is very important to acknowledge the idea. Until and unless you do not acknowledge the idea, you know, you won't be able to deliver the results. You won't be able to motivate the employees. You won't be able to encourage them to share their input. So it is very important to acknowledge the idea. Let employee know the status of their proposal. Let's say even if the proposal is rejected, even if the proposal is on hold, let them know. It's their right to know the status of their proposal. They become restless, they become impatient, they want to know whether it was approved, whether it is rejected, where I'm lagging, on what areas I need to work, so that next time my proposal get accepted. They need to know that thing to improve themselves. So never forget to acknowledge the idea which has been shared by any of your employees. Always acknowledge those ideas. The next point is consider the merits of each idea. What do you mean by considering the merits of each idea? What would we gain if we are going to implement that idea? Is the idea feasible? If not, let the employee know why. You cannot just come and say that, no, your idea didn't work, so we are not accepting your idea. Why you are not accepting my idea? What are the loopholes? Let the employee know. Let the employee know why the idea was not feasible. Let the employee know why the idea is not getting implemented, because it is very important to implement the idea. You have to consider the merits and demerits of both the idea. If merits are more, let them know that yes, your idea is approved. If there are demerits, if the idea is not fruitful for at that point of time, let the employees know, and also let them know why it is not fruitful. With this, I just got a story. I just clicked a story in my mind. There was a painter, and he just drawed a very beautiful painting, and on the painting below he just wrote, please mark what you didn't like in the painting. Just a normal quotation, just a normal line. Just mark what you didn't like in the painting. And he just put that painting in one of the public place, and he just kept a marker. Just circle the thing which you didn't like in the painting. I just kept it there. After 2 hours, he came and he found that there was circle all over the painting. The painting was not at all visible now. There were only circles which were marked by the people that, okay, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong, this we didn't like, this we didn't like, this we didn't like, this we didn't like. That is how the things went. It clicked his mind. It's very easy to find the faults. It's very easy to reject the thing. Second day, he drew the same painting. He wrote the same line with one additional thing, that is, circle the thing which you didn't like in the painting along with the correction. Why you didn't like that thing? With what should I replace that thing? He waited. He came back after 2 hours. There were no circles. He came back after 4 hours. There were no circles. Why there were no circles? Because it is very easy to say, no, this is wrong, this is wrong, this is wrong. But if someone will ask you, if this is wrong, what is right? No one will have the answers. Because actually people were not honestly finding out the things which are wrong. They were just passing by the thought, okay, he just wants us to mark the things wrong. Let us simply mark. Same way, when you are telling the employees that your idea is not accepted, why it is not accepted, you should also say that thing very clearly. It is very important to be very clear that yes, the idea was not accepted, the idea is good, but at that point of time it is not accepted. At this point of time it is not of any use. Why? Because maybe you have some better options, because it demerits the disadvantages of adopting that idea are more than the merit. So whatever reason it is, you just have to clarify and you just have to tell that thing very specifically. So make sure you do that thing. The next thing is promote risk taking. If the employee want to take any kind of risk, allow them to take the risk. Promote risk taking. Encourage people to try those ideas they feel are little risky, but if they work, can give you better and best results. You need to promote risk taking. Encourage people to try even those ideas they feel are little risky, but can give you great returns. Remember, how many of your best ideas, such as creating your own company, succeeded despite the lack of guarantees? Just take the example of the great people, that how no, just think about those ideas where the idea clicked into your mind and you were not sure whether it is going to work or not, but see where you are standing today. You have succeeded in your life, and how you have succeeded in your life? Because you tried out something new. You took some risk in your life, and when you took some risk in your life, why don't you allow the other people to take risk in your life? Promote risk taking. Seventh is, don't punish people for bad ideas. Do not punish the people for any kind of bad idea which came from them. You know, at times it might have happened that you also have come up with any kind of bad idea and the idea didn't work. So do not punish the people for any kind of bad idea. It's okay, except that avoid criticizing or penalizing the employees for coming up with seemingly bad ideas that didn't give you any return. It's okay. Do not criticize the people. Do not punish the people for any of the bad idea. tell them what is the area of improvement, so that next time they come up with some better and creative ideas. You know, if you're coming up with 10 different ideas, it is not, there is no guarantee that all the 10 ideas are going to give you the returns. There is no guarantee for that. So do not focus on criticizing the people for the ideas which they have given. Instead, focus on finding the solution. Focus on finding the solution, that okay, so do not punish the people for the bad ideas. Next is, let people be inspired by their failures. You know, even if the people fail, let them be inspired by their failures. Tell your employees that I want you to feel free to fail and try again, but I do not want you to fail and sit at that point of time. I do not want you to stop because of the failure which you have faced in your life. I'm okay if you fail, but I want you to stand again and try again. Discuss with the employees that what went wrong, why the idea failed, and why the idea wasn't really feasible. Discuss with the employees, because with the discussion, it is going to help the employees to find out the areas which didn't work for them. Failure can be the ultimate and the biggest source of your learning experience. You have to understand that even if the people fail, that doesn't mean that you cannot do or you cannot win now. Failure is the first step of success. If you fail, if you learn from your failure, then yes, you are moving towards your success. You are not stopping there. So let people be inspired by their failures. Welcome ideas from all level of the organization. So you have to understand one thing, that you are welcoming the ideas from each and every level of the organization, no matter whether he's the manager, he's the leader, he's the subordinate, he's at a middle level management, no matter whomsoever he is. When creativity is the basic tool in your company, great idea may come from unexpected sources and unexpected peoples too. Someone who has never before offered a useful suggestion might come up with a revolutionary idea you wished you would thought of it yourself. Go with it and give the innovator full credit. See, it's not just about welcoming the idea, it is also about accepting the idea, and along with that, giving the entire credit to that person only. You know, many times what happens, that people come up with their ideas, they come up with the suggestions, they come up with the innovative ideas, but manager or the senior authorities, they just think that how this person can come up with the idea, and just because of that, they just add something, some extra points in that, and they present the idea in such a way that it is their original idea. Do not do that thing. Welcome the idea from all level of organization. Along with that, give credit, full credit to the true and the real innovator of that idea. Do not take the credit, the whole credit, the complete credit in your hand of the idea which you have suggested. The last way is encourage people to help solve chronic problems. If you have long been struggling with a particular issue, fresh perspective could provide a breakthrough. So let the employees, if you think that a problem is there from a very long duration and you have tried out everything, but still you couldn't get the returns, still you couldn't Solve the problem. Discuss with your team. Discuss with the employees. You never know that whose idea can work for you. So whenever you are discussing the ideas, whenever you are taking the suggestion, always take the suggestion with the open mind. Encourage the people to come up with their creativity, to come up with their new suggestion, and accept their suggestion and the creativity with the open mind. This is very important, to accept the things with the open mind, to encourage the people to help you solve the chronic problem. Now with this, we have finished off. We have completed the different ways by which you can encourage the employees to give the suggestion. And when we were discussing about all 10 ways, one thing was common in all the 10 ways, and that one thing was, do not forget to encourage the employees in the organization. It is very important to encourage the people in the organization, because if you are not encouraging the people in the organization, you are ultimately losing your most valuable resources untouched. Yes, these people are the most valuable resources in the organization. The contribution which these people make is the one which leads to the ultimate success of the organization. So do not forget to encourage the employees to give the valuable suggestions to you. Let the employees feel free to share their ideas, to share their suggestions, to share their views, and give them the open space to try out their new ideas and new ways of working. If they will have the confidence from the manager that even if we fail, a manager is not going to get angry on us. Instead, he'll sit with us, he'll make us understand what went wrong. He's going to discuss the things with us. He's not going to criticize our work. It gives them motivation to try out those new ideas, and you never know which idea at what point of time can give you the best results. So do not stop them from trying the new ideas in their life. So with this, we have come to the end of today's session of work-life balance. So I hope all the things were clear, because with this, we have completed the third module of employee engagement, which is very important for creating a healthy work-life balance in the organization. With this, we have finished. Bye-bye. Have a wonderful day.